We're live. I'm gonna go grab the YouTube. I see it now. All right, I just sent you the link. We should be live. Yeah, that's it. All right, I'm gonna tweet it and tag you.
Yep.
There you go. Oh, nice. You're ready to go too. All right. Whew. You eat dinner yet?
Yes, sir.
Good. So, like tonight,
you eat something yet?
You guys are done with practice. So, like, what time do you go to sleep on a night like this?
My schedule's a little bit messed up right now, just because of the MBA program, and most of my exams are done this weekend. So I have a few big papers, and I have one exam this weekend. But I've just been staying up pretty late, getting on top of things, getting ahead in some of my classes, and getting ready for those exams.
That's what's up.
Yeah, it's been a little bit odd of a schedule, though. Let me tell you, I've been spending, the whole morning at football, working out and getting treatment, and then I get to spend the whole evening at home, studying, which is nice. Definitely has its pros, but not necessarily a routine, though.
How much longer is your semester?
So the normal semester, I believe, ends on the 30th, but my classes will all be done by like the 21st, 22nd. Yep. So it's not too shabby. Again,
So you got
just a couple very
like a month, 6 weeks, 5 weeks, something like that. Oh, this month semester? You're done?
This month, yeah, I'm almost done.
Shit,
yeah, a couple days. Yeah,
I thought it was
kind of crazy. 2 semesters into an MBA program.
And then, are you enrolling in the June semester, or when do you go back?
What'd you say I locked in?
Are you enrolling in the June semester?
Yep. So I believe my classes start right around. I can't say the date, but yeah, I'm taking three courses over the summer.
Right.
One of them will be in person. The other 2 will be online.
That's cool. All right. Ready? You good?
Let's do it.
All right. Let's do it. All right. Here we go. Whew. Long day. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Big Man, Big Heart with Dillan Gibbons. I am your host, Josh Newberg. This is episode 26. We are coming to you live on a Thursday evening. We are on YouTube right now, or maybe you're listening to us on podcasts. Hello. Dillan, spring ball's over. How you feeling? How you doing? Welcome.
I'm feeling great. We really had a great end to spring ball. I know a lot of people don't understand this, but the spring game was really just our 14th practice. We ended up having a last practice, a 15th practice, which recapped all of spring ball. Everything that we learned, kind of instilled some of the things that are going to be going forward in the season, and did a really good job recapping what we put out there on film for the spring game.
All right, man. We're going to talk all about the spring game here in a second and recap everything that you guys accomplished and learned. But first, tell us what's the latest with Big Man, Big Heart.
Yeah, so we have a lot going on right now. Like I said last week, I got a email from Director Sutton from the FWC, kind of discussing that Joe Budd Youth Conservation wouldn't be available for the event that we planned out a few months ago. Bottom line, Joe Budd will probably not be open back up for, I guess, a year or so. Again, pretty unfortunate news, not necessarily something I was anticipating, especially the event coming up here is supposed to be in 10 days from now.
Right.
So very devastating. But at the same time, we're working together, finding another park here locally in Tallahassee I really appreciate all the sponsors, everyone that stepped up, from Bass Pro Shops of Tallahassee to Camping World, Good Sam, and even Sonny's Barbecue, that are hanging in with us as we figure out a new location at a later date, hopefully in the summer. So that's pretty exciting, especially, as we get to plan it and make it a lot bigger than we initially anticipated. So having a little bit more extra time is going to allow us to make the event even more special.
Awesome, man. Now, do you want to talk a little bit about the award that you've been nominated for? I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it would be interesting. Again, it's kind of a work in progress. Again, I really didn't know much about the NIL Summit before the other day when I did pop up on a tweet and it kind of went crazy up in Twitter in Florida State. But yeah, let's talk a little bit about it.
So what exactly is the and first of all, you and I were talking before the show started, and you were saying like, oh, I'm not really sure about this award. Dylan, NIL hasn't even been around for a year yet. So of course it's all new and nobody knows about it. I was just like, because you were asking me if I knew anything about it. So no, this is probably the first year they've ever done it.
Yeah, so they put out a series of awards, right? So the Twitter is the NIL Summit. It's going to be held in Atlanta at the College Football Hall of Fame. It's presented by Facebook, or nowadays called Meta. And a bunch of other Fortune 500 companies are coming together to support college athletes, which is pretty interesting. But the NIL Summit, basically, they nominated me for the Athlete Advocate of the Year, which is an award presented to somebody that's done some charitable works, help bolster college football, make it a better place to be. So it is an award. I didn't really anticipate winning any awards for starting Big Man Big Heart or raising all that money for people in need. But yeah, it's definitely one of those things I'm excited about. I'm excited about the opportunity to go there and be able to get in front of some of these big corporations and hopefully bring in some more money for Big Man Big Heart to help out some people. But yeah, it should be a good opportunity to meet some people, shake some hands, kiss some babies. But yeah, I'm excited about it.
Speaking of raising some money, Dylan, how could we forget? Big Man Big Heart.
So you got it.
Hit its goal. The Big Man Big Heart Foundation hit its goal of raising $300,000 across all of its platforms and all of its fundraisers. You text me, I think it was like 2 days ago, and you're like, hey man, we did it. We hit our goal. So congratulations. How did we not lead with that?
Yeah. So I live and die by goal setting, right? That's just kind of who I am. An individual, his name is Tom Mendoza. He's one of my mentors. Gave me a goal setting strategy that he incorporated actionable goals within a 90-day period. So it's called the Tom Mendoza 90-day goal setting strategy. Basically, it's taking 3 personal and 3 professional goals, right? Writing them down on a piece of paper. They have to be actionable, of course. They can't just be up in the air. For the personal ones, it could be, I want to be, under 300 pounds. That could be something someone wants to do. I want to lose some weight. How am I going to get there over a period of 90 days? So you write those things down for the personal side. For the professional side, you do the same thing. Whether it be football or Big Man Big Heart, like 90 days ago, I wrote down I wanted to raise $300,000 to Big Man Big Heart. I wanted to push every single day, have some actionable steps I could take with corporate sponsors and different initiatives I was going to run, anticipating how much I could potentially raise from the GoFundMe's to reach that goal, to make that kind of impact, at least on the financial side of things. So I wrote down that goal 90 days ago. I slept on it that night, and I asked myself, if I reach this goal, would I be proud of myself? And the answer was yes. So I went out there with my team at Big Man Big Heart, my 2 interns here in Tallahassee, the 5 individuals that helped me out at GoFundMe, my whole family. They all wrapped their arms around me and helped me accomplish this goal. So I can't thank everybody enough for support. I can't thank the Florida State community enough for the opportunity to be able to go out there and present myself in a presentable way and raise that much money and change that many lives. So it's been absolutely crazy. If you guys haven't checked it out, please check out the last GoFundMe I put up for Laura Fisher. Bottom line, she's a near and dear friend to my family. Her boyfriend, Greer Martini, I played with him back in 2017. He was a linebacker at Notre Dame. He took a shot in the NFL. Now he's actually back at Vanderbilt. So it really is a touching story. If you would like to read more, please check out bigmanbigheart.com. Go to the link to the GoFundMe. We don't really have enough time to get into the whole story, but we've raised over $60,000 for them in the past week. So it is something very near and dear to my heart. But that was definitely one of those things that helped us reach that $300,000 goal.
Yeah, that's really cool. Good to hear. Congratulations on that. All right, let's get to the spring game. You guys wrapped up spring football on Tuesday. A lot of people think, like you said, that the last scrimmage or practice was on Saturday, but it was not. You guys wrapped it up on Tuesday. So how does it feel to go through your first Florida State spring practice?
Well, first of all, I got to tell you, Tuesday was a trap, right? Because we got done with the spring game on Saturday, of course, right? Which is great. Guys getting that game time mode. You have guys running out there, 10 miles an hour faster than they're running in practice. Guys really, putting it all out there in front of their families, in front of the 30,000 fans we had out there, in front of everybody. And then you move through the weekend, you get to see your families, you get to see your loved ones, and then you have one more practice, right? You a random Tuesday in spring, something I never really anticipated. Something I was like, wow. And I was going through Exos, it's the system we use to watch film, and you could see, it goes all the dates, the practices, and then the spring game, and then it had one underneath of it, right, for Tuesday. And I was like, what is that? That's kind of odd. Are we doing a walkthrough? Well, no, it wasn't a walkthrough. We put our helmets on, we put our shoulder pads on, and put our pants on. And we went out there and we played some football. Coach Norvell, of course, set it up as a trap practice, right, to see people's mentalities. Spring games are unfair sometimes. They don't necessarily give you the best indication of a team from a coach's perspective of what you're moving into the summer. Having a practice like that allowed him to reevaluate, allowed some players to learn from their experience in the spring game. Some of those guys, many fans, so you got to imagine there was a lot to be learned. Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're back.
There's a lot to be learned from the film we had out there and from the film that we watched on Saturday and Sunday. So it was great to get back out there on Tuesday. I thought the guys did a really good job in their preparation. Again, I can't appreciate the guys enough for putting all the work, the effort, and the intensity that we showed on Tuesday and throughout the whole spring. Like I said, my first media interview of the spring, like we came out there for all the spring football, right, in the beginning. And we started hitting pretty hard, harder than I remember hitting at Notre Dame. And that was across the whole board in every position group. And we really kept up that momentum going through all of spring football. So I believe this is a completely different team than I imagined, or at least I was with during the fall. I don't know exactly what's in the water here at Florida State, but there's definitely something going on. And I'm very excited to see the trajectory of this team. Leaders are stepping up all over the place. Jordan Travis has turned himself into a completely different cat, something that people are going to have to game plan, weeks and weeks out for. And our whole offense has developed quite nicely.
It was good to watch some of the transfers. You're a transfer yourself, so you want to see how some of these guys are going to fit on the roster, fit into the scheme. One of the offensive players that maybe not caught me by surprise, but I thought Trey Benson looked really, really smooth out there. There was a lot of talk about his knee injury coming in and some question marks about his health, but man, he has some burst. And what's he like in the locker room?
No, Trey Benson's a big dude. He's a good dude too, and spends a lot of time in prehab and rehab, just like me and just like a lot of other guys on the team that understand the side of professional, being a professional. It's been really interesting to see the impact that some of the transfers have made. Coming in from the season. When we finished up the season, I really didn't think we needed too many more impact players. We already had a lot of impact players going out of the season. But to bring in so many guys, just like Trey Benson, just like, across the board in the offensive line group, on the D line, it's crazy to see how well these guys adjusted from just a short time period. I was kind of thrown into the fire as well. Right when I got here about halfway through summer, I had to learn a completely new offense. Had to go into a camp and had to compete for a starting position right away. And it was great to see, at least after the first week of spring football, that's when guys start separating themselves from the pack. It was really great to see some of those guys, stepping up that haven't even been here for that long. They don't have a full understanding of the offense or the defense, and just separating themselves based off, pure athletic ability. For running backs, yards after contact, guys fighting and scrapping and, meeting the requests of our coach to go ahead and, sell out. And it was absolutely amazing to see that. I know some guys are coming in with limitations, but I think overall everyone did a really good job.
Yeah, it was a fun game to watch. Fun to see some of these guys like Caden Lyles and Trey Benson. I mean, what was the overall impact of having so many transfers available for spring? Did you feel that out there?
Oh yeah. For me personally, I've been through 5 springs. That was on Tuesday. That was my 75th spring football practice. That's a lot of spring football.
That is a lot.
I dare to say too many, but I had a good time. Let me tell you, man. Going into a spring and knowing that you have 3 full position groups at offensive line, so basically 3 deep, is an amazing feeling for any offensive lineman. That means that guys aren't going to necessarily get beat to death, right? They're going to have time to develop. They're going to get some quality reps, but they're not, going to be butting their head against the wall all day. So for me, I got to take sort of limited reps going through the spring, right? As I played in so much football and I've been around for so long. But other guys got a chance, to come up and get quality reps with the two position group. There wasn't really a drop off from the ones to the twos to the threes in the offensive line room. So it was great to see. And that's just one small, position group. But at the end of the day, that kind of went throughout the whole team. We definitely had a elevation in the quality of reps taken.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's awesome. So what's next for you? Like in this cycle of your off season, we talked a lot after the season about what your goals were heading into the spring, but now that spring football is over, what do you focus on? What are your goals in terms of football on the field?
Yeah, so this time period right now, again, when I was going through spring football, I was fully in on bringing other guys with me, right? I had a conversation with the full offense the other day, and I let the guys know that you have to be extremely selfish in this time period, right? This is where like real professional players separate themselves from the pack, right? This is a time of the year where you invest in yourself. You brush up on those things you don't know much about. Whether it's if you're playing offense, you're learning about defense. You're getting bigger and stronger every day. You're focusing on your body. You're focusing on the little cuts and bruises and nicks and whatever you have from season still going on. And you're getting ready to perform at a high level. That's what this time period is right now for the next 4 weeks until basically we get back into summer training.
Is that what it is? 4 weeks?
Yeah, it's just about three and a half weeks or so. But right now, the strength coaches are still up here. I'm attacking workouts every single day. I'm spending time in there getting treatment. I'm finishing up my academics when I'm focusing on what's ahead. So of course, I'm being a little bit selfish with my time. And it was a hard discussion, especially when I had a conversation with Coach Atkins, kind of an exit interview the other day. Mm-hmm. And that's the same advice he gave me, is that it's going to be hard, but I need to be selfish. I need to go ahead and attack what I need to attack, get bigger and stronger and faster, all those wonderful things while maintaining my body and getting ready for season. But yeah, this is a lot of people say they're selling out in this time of their life, but I'm just being the same guy. I've been doing this since day one when I got into college football. I'm going to keep making my parents proud. I'm going to pursue my dreams, play NFL football.
Speaking of, do you get to see your family before the summer starts?
Oh yeah, I do. You know it. I'm actually heading down to St. Pete this weekend. My dad and my brother are actually on the way up here to come get me, which is nice.
Oh, cool.
So Shannon and Riley, they'll be up here in a minute. But yeah, I'm excited to be home for Easter, but it's gonna be really nice to be able to go home, spend 2 days at home and come right back up here to Tallahassee and train, just to get my mind away from some of those things and focus on what's important now.
What's like the most time you'll have off between now and the start of the season? Because it seems like it's not much.
Yeah, so it's a little bit complicated of a question, especially because what's really off and what's not. It'll be about a 2-week period, right? Coming up here pretty soon is when the end of the semester, before we get back into summer workouts. I'll be spending that 2-week period, a little bit of it in the Keys down in Amarada. But for the week and a half, I'll be doing an internship in New York. It's a 2-part internship. One half is with Jonathan Finch. He's the CMO of Amazon. That's going to be a very interesting experience. So I'm going to be in New York City with my fiance. She works at Goldman Sachs, and I can't wait to spend some time with her, be able to do a wonderful internship. And then for the second half of it, it'll be back here training, getting bigger and stronger with Coach Storms. And then I'll bring me right into summer workouts.
Awesome, man. We got a question here. What are the differences between spring practice and fall camp in terms of what you do and how much time you spend practicing certain things?
Yeah, so it really depends what time period you're talking about. Because like the first part of spring practice is a lot like the first part of fall camp. Spring practices are always, a little bit more up tempo. It was very interesting to see how Coach Norvell ran a spring. Again, like you said, this is my first time here at Florida State. Mm-hmm. It was kind of crazy the amount of situational football we did this spring.
I heard that. I heard
the first 2 practices, we ran some plays, right? We got guys out there. We ran with 3 groups offensive linemen. But after like that second practice, it was 1s and 2s and maybe a couple mixed in 3s, but we're running situational, game-like intensity type football drills, right? So every team period we did had a meaning behind it. It had a situation. It had something we've been through in the season or something we might be going through, potentially this next season. So I'd say that's one of the biggest differences. As you get into fall camp, of course, you need to play football. You need to get a bunch of reps in. you need to go and go through the whole, basically the process of day 1 install to day, 10 install rather quickly. And of course, we'll be in Jacksonville for a little bit of that time. But it's a little bit more expedited as we get through spring. And then as you get to the back end of spring, it turns in kind of like the back end of fall camp.
A little bit more competitive, heats up a little bit.
Yeah, like usually, within a week of spring football, you kind of know who the 1 and 2 group is. Whereas in the first 2 weeks of fall camp is when you start understanding, who are the guys.
Gotcha. All right. So in terms of school, what do you got? I know you got a couple weeks left, but any big exams, anything interesting coming up?
Yeah, I have about a 20-page paper in econ class, which is not the most fun in the world again, but I'm absolutely attacking it. I've destroyed it today. Down, so I only have about 6 or 7 or 8 pages left. But
that's it.
Yeah, I always kind of run into the dilemma. I always end up going back and shorting it a lot. So I'll definitely be underneath the 20-page maximum. But that, and I have a few exams popping up here at the end of the week. So yeah, just a lot of exciting stuff. Of course, staying active with Big Man Big Heart and absolutely attacking each and every day. You wouldn't imagine the amount of calls I take and emails I respond to during the day. But I can't thank my staff enough. My 2 interns here in Tallahassee, again, the 5 people that work for me over GoFundMe, and then my family. They help me a lot with those menial tasks that go through the day, and supporting me and helping Big Man Big Heart turn into something a lot bigger than me.
Yeah, it's been awesome to kind of experience some of this and just be along for the ride. Any shout outs, anybody you want to mention before we get out of here tonight?
Man, shout out Josh Newberg. Dude's a beast. Check him out on Spaces.
I think everybody's had enough of me on Spaces.
I don't know about that. There was an emergency Spaces last night.
Yeah,
I had to hop on there real quick. At least it wasn't like a 9:00 p.m. Spaces. That would have been unfortunate. Yeah. But I gotta give a shout out to Good Sam. So Good Sam and Camping World. We have some very exciting things coming up with them here pretty soon. I can't really say the details, but it'll be coming up here in the next couple of weeks. Not only the partnership they're doing with me for the Faith Family Football Fishing event coming up in the summer, but something along the lines of an RV. So it should be very fun to see what that is. You need to check them out. They run these Be Good, Do Good events every couple of times, every couple of times a month, where they give away RVs, give away rentals, and really just help people out in the community. So check out Good Sam and Camping World. The last shout out I'll give is for National Truck Protection. CEO Wade Bontrager, absolutely an awesome, wonderful individual. If you have a light duty, super duty, or heavy duty truck that you need insurance for, please check out National Truck Protection. They do an absolutely amazing job. I can't say enough good things about National Truck Protection or Wade Bontrager over there. So I appreciate it. It looks like we have a couple questions, Josh.
Yeah, we got a couple more questions here. Let me see if I can read this one. How does it feel to almost spirit? I can ask this one without using the name, but how does it feel to be a valued host with some of these important recruits that come through, in that you give tours to, and even though you've only been here a year, how does that feel for you?
Yeah, I've been in college football for a while, so I kind of understand the machine that is college football. I understand the opportunity that presents itself at a program like Florida State, and I've been through that process, right? I've been there before. So of course, when you're looking for someone to give someone guidance, not only from recruiting, bring a guy to Florida State side of things, but just general life advice, I'm your guy. So that's what I've always told the coaches. The coaches understand who I am. They understand my capabilities. They understand my means to be able to communicate a message to somebody. But to have that actual experience, to be in the same spot that individual, or a hypothetical, big offensive tackle is going through, it's very nice to be able to give that advice, because I had a few people in my life that helped me with that advice, helped me with those decisions. It's a decision you have to make on your own, right? But if you look at it from a kind of an X's and O's standpoint, right, and you start to rationalize things and start to figure out what your future might look like, there's no other university here in the state of Florida or anywhere in college football that I found where I could write my own narrative and I could make a significant impact.
Okay, when you're hosting a recruit, do you ever know if it's like a really important one, and then you feel, I know you don't feel pressure, so you would probably feel like excitement, like, man, do you ever get excited? Like, I'm really going to put on a show here and land this recruit.
Yeah, I'll take a step back, and this might be the contrary to public opinion. Um, I know that Josh, you take it for what it is, but some guys are high rated, some guys have all the natural ability in the world. I judge a guy by how he can talk, right, and his physical stature and what he's put on tape, right. So for me, like unless I know who it is, right, and I've done some research on him, I generally give them my the same string of thought. I don't really put any emphasis into it. I'm not like, oh man, I really want this kid, because I have all the confidence in the world in my group. I know my guys. I understand where their deficits are and how they can get better on our offensive line here at Florida State. And if I'm being completely honest, we don't need anything else. We have what we have, and at the end of the day, that's good enough. We have a lot of wonderful players here at Florida State. We have some freak athletes that you're not going to find anywhere else in the country that can do some amazing things, that can block the hell out of people. But I know what I have, right? I know where their downfalls are. I know how they can get better. I've already seen it on tape 1,000 times. So for me to go out there and be vulnerable, want a guy, right? To want to have a guy join our group, I need to understand who he is. And the guy we're talking about right now, I'm still getting to know, but I hopefully look forward to having him on our team someday.
Yeah, if he's on your team, then you'll really get to know him. So here, if you want to get to know him, then try to get him on your team.
Of course, and like I said, it's all great, and everything out there on the media is all great, and all the hype and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, we're just in the business of blocking people, and the coaches recruit guys that they think can block people. So that's what it's all simplified down to. But again, some exciting times, and I really look forward to seeing what happens here in the next couple of days.
All right. How about another bourbon raffle? Derek Hansen wants to know.
Yep. So we're working out bourbon raffle. We're working out some things. I talk about my dad a lot, but he knows a lot of people. He might know you, Derek Hansen. I'm not sure, but he knows a lot of people. Has a lot of friends in the liquor industry. I actually worked for a company called Silver Screen Bottling. I did an internship with them one summer as well. So we know a lot of people in the liquor industry. Right now, we're looking for somebody to donate a couple bottles of bourbon. Of course, higher tier. My brother is quite educated on bourbon, so I'm sure he'll definitely have to pass the test or whatever you guys want to donate before we put it out there in an auction and try to raise significant funds for Big Man Big Heart. But if anyone would like to donate a bottle of bourbon, we'd be more than happy to accept that and put it. Last time around, we raised, I believe, just around $6,000, which is absolutely amazing. Just kind of happened out of thin air, but from the generous support of people of this podcast, from people like Josh Newberg, throwing it out there on Twitter, and people like you, Derek Hansen, for buying a ticket. I can't thank you enough. But again, we delivered all those bottles, and you should have seen the expression on some of these people's faces. It was absolutely crazy, just to give someone a whole bottle of Pappy. I wish someone came and found me and gave me a bottle of Pappy someday. But I hope to be able to put together another one of those events. We'll be coming out with a whole other line of merch, which could also have an auction of sorts like that, a ticket raffle. But yeah, we'll have some very interesting things planned here for the summer. Of course, I had to get through spring football. I had to focus on what was important then. But right now, what's important is raising significant funds for people in need. So I look forward to being able to put my best foot forward and hopefully providing some wonderful experiences like that Bourbon Raffle here coming pretty soon.
All right. Appreciate you, Dylan. We will be back next week. Thanks, everybody, for listening, and go Noles.
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.